What's going on, Guardians? It's Tizzle here, and in this video we are going over the god rolls from the Vault of Glass because they are now craftable and they have an origin trait called Time Loss Magazine. Final blows with this weapon grant bonus super energy. When your super expires, this weapon's magazine size is doubled for a long duration and reloads from reserves. So this actually has some very interesting synergy with a couple of the weapons. So we will get to that when we get there. But yeah, that's a very strong origin trait. And these weapons are honestly incredible. Like, honestly, the power creep continues. Also, real quick, if I sound a little different, I'm recording this in Mexico on my laptop. Because, yeah, the grind never stops, baby. So anyways, Fatebringer is one of my favorite hand cannons in the game. It did get power crept by Midnight Coup a little bit, but Explosive Payload Frenzy has been on it before. I never got that on a Midnight Coup, so I'm very, very excited about this roll. I also have a roll with Osmosis and Firefly, which is really good, especially more and more now. It's nice to be able to get energy, like an energy variant. So I really like pairing this with solar builds for Ember of Empyrean to extend Restoration and Radiant. Don't sleep on that synergy, especially on a hand cannon, because they're very good in endgame PvE. Opening Shot, Eye of the Storm, Keep Away, Precision Instrument. Those are probably going to be your combinations for PvP. Magnificent Howl previously was only ever on Not Forgotten and Luna's Howl. It is now on Fatebringer, which is quite interesting, and I prefer the adaptive frame to that precision frame recoil and just like how they shoot, especially on PC. So very cool. You can get Mag Howl there. Kinetic Tremors with Frenzy would be nasty. Kinetic Tremors 1 for all is also extremely nasty. Explosive Payload 1 for all is very, very strong. But like I said, for me, I honestly probably want Explosive Payload Frenzy because with Midnight Coup, I already kind of have the rolls I want, and that was the one combination I didn't get. But yeah, you've got some very good options on Fatebringer. And then Praedyth's Revenge is actually power creeping the Supremacy from Last Wish, because Last Wish Supremacy, it could roll Rewind Rounds Bait and Switch or Rewind Kinetic Tremors or 4th times Triple Tap, I think. So all very good combinations for certain builds. But right off the bat, the one that jumps out to me is Kinetic Tremors and Bait and Switch. Correct me if I'm wrong down in the comments, but I believe Bait and Switch does increase the kinetic tremor damage as well. So yeah, that is basically going to be the best DPS sniper in the game. For a legendary, Cloud Strike might have it beat otherwise. But yeah, this is a rapid fire frame. So having Kinetic Tremors Bait and Switch to me is basically the god roll. You could get Rewind Bait and Switch, but like I said, if you have Supremacy, you already have that. Envious Arsenal Bait and Switch is the other really nice combination there. So that's going to be very strong. Discord is good for certain niche builds. Elemental Honing is a new one, and I didn't really talk about it, but it is on Fatebringer as well. So what it says is dealing unique elemental damage grants this weapon a stacking damage bonus. This bonus is increased for kinetic weapons. So Mossy Max does have a breakdown on Twitter. I didn't have it saved, but I did see that he talked about it. So basically, say you stacked like a couple different elemental damages. Say you threw out an Arcane Needle and like a Vortex Grenade. Those would both stack with it. So we don't have the community notes yet, but keep your eye out on that one. It will be very good in prismatic builds. Like I said, Kinetic Tremors is great already on Supremacy. So the fact you can get it in the left column is very, very strong. 4th times a charm for... so yeah, you could do 4th times Bait and Switch as well, because that's just going to keep putting ammo back into your magazine and creates it out of thin air. So it's really, really good for total damage as well. And then you've got Time Loss Magazine. So again, final blows with this weapon grant bonus super energy. When your super expires, this weapon's magazine size is doubled for a long duration and reloads from reserves. So you cast a well or cast your damage super, and then you've got 4 times Bait and Switch or Rewind Bait and Switch, Envious Bait and Switch. You're going to be shooting for a long ass time, put it that way. So very, very strong. I love Frenzy, but honestly, these other options that I talked about, even Precision Instrument, are just going to outdo it. But yeah, precision instrument does only go up to 25%. So yeah, 4 times precision would be really strong, especially with time lost. But I do think bait and switch is the winner here until they potentially nerf it one day. You also have no distractions opening shot. So where's the aim assist on this thing? Why can't I find it? I see, 78. That is a lot of aim assist. I used to have a god roll Praedyth's Revenge. I don't really snipe in PvP anymore or play much PvP, but it was probably the best feeling sniper rifle I ever used in PvP. Had a handling masterwork, so it was like juiced with like 100 handling. You can get this one really high if you throw on, where is fluted barrel. So yeah, 95 handling masterwork. And then, yeah, no distractions, opening shot. It feels so snappy. So, yeah, snapshot sight is super nice, but this would feel really, really good for PvP. On to Corrective Measure. So, we have Hammerhead. We have Commemoration. This thing, do not sleep on it. There's actually a role that I'm very excited about. I'm just going to kind of mouse over all the roles so you can see. But if you have the God Roll Commemoration, that means you have Reconstruction Killing Tally, most likely on it. Then you probably have like Rampage Killing Tally, or Hammerhead has a ton of really good perks, especially damage perks. This one, don't even look that way for damage. Or I guess you could craft a couple if you do want Killing Tally. Like Subsistence Killing Tally is very, very good if you didn't get a Commemoration or a Hammerhead. But if you have those God Rolls, this is what I'm looking at right here, guys. Or not Withering Gaze. It's a new one. Right here, Demoralize. Destabilizing rounds. Got a buff. Extremely good. Demoralize. Precision final blows cause nearby targets to become weakened. So you get a precision final blow. You're going to weaken everything. You're going to spread volatile. This thing could be the best ad clear machine gun in the game, even without the damage perks, because volatile, if you make everything volatile, it basically spreads it, and then you're going to be weakening it. So sure, you're not getting a traditional damage perk, but that 15% weaken, 2 stacks of Killing Tally is 20%. So you're basically getting weakened going on like everything around it. So very, very strong. Adrenaline Junkie, Demolitionist. Obviously, these are also extremely good pairings. One for All is really great. 35%. Super easy to proc. It's actually stronger than Bait and Switch. So yeah, this thing really, it's got the best utility role, which in my eyes is Destabilizing Rounds and Demoralize. And then for even more utility, you could go Demolitionist, Demoralize, or, and you've got Elemental Honing here as well. But yeah, One for All, super easy to proc on something like a machine gun, which is already, like you want to use it for ad clear, not really single target damage. Firefly in the left column is very interesting. But yeah, this thing, I've always loved Corrective Measure. Mine is actually Demolitionist Thresh. It doesn't roll Thresh anymore, but that does give super energy. It's too bad we can't get Time Lost Magazine with Thresh and stuff anymore. But yeah, very, very intriguing perk combination here with Destabilizing and Demoralize, but also Demolitionist on this thing feels great. Like I said, I've kept mine around for years, even with already having a God Roll Hammerhead and a God Roll Commemoration. Onto Vision of Confluence. This is another one I've kept. I actually have, it's a perk that they don't even make anymore. Oh, Full Auto Trigger System I have in the left, but it also has Frenzy, and I've used it to solo GMs. So now we've got like Heal Clip Frenzy, which is honestly a wombo combo because Frenzy gives lots of reload speed. So Heal Clip Frenzy is looking really, really nice. For PvP, Zen Moment Kill Clip could be really good. Firefly is kind of nice on these things. Rewind Rounds Frenzy could be nice. You've got Paracausal Affinity, which used to only be on the Root of Nightmares weapons. Final blows of energy types matching this weapon's alignment grant increased damage for a short period of time. Light final blows boost arc, solar, and void weapons. So basically you get light final blows and you're doing 20% more damage for 6 seconds. Frenzy is only 15%, but it gives the increased handling and reload speed. I'm a Frenzy stan. I love Frenzy. I also didn't talk about it too much, but this was a void aggressive frame, rapid fire, kinetic, adaptive, and then this one is a solar scout. Sorry, I should have mentioned that. So the precision frames, the 180s, they actually feel quite good to use in PvE. They have really good range, so they're good for playing safely. You've also got Incandescent Firefly, which could really spread a lot of Scorch, Incandescent Explosive Payload, Demolitionist. So again, just some really, really, really good. Oh, and Elemental Honing as well. Some really, really good traits on Vision of Confluence. Hezen Vengeance. Holy hell. Tomorrow's Answer from Trials was the best rocket launcher, Void. People do like Solar because typically you can surge match a little better with Solar, especially this season. Vex Mythoclast, speaking of Vault of Glass weapons, is going to be absolutely cooking with Particle Reconstruction. So then you could pair it with Hezen Vengeance. So Overflow, people were doing some funny things with the Overflow Hezen Vengeance. I used to have one. They were duoing the Witness because with Alethanum you can make heavy ammo bricks. So you just walk over a brick, boom, you have 2 rockets, and you just keep walking over bricks and never stop shooting. But now you have some damage perks in the right column. I don't remember what Hezen used to roll with. Let me just look real quick, because I don't think it had very good. It did have Vorpal, which is only 10%. So the old one, the max you could have got Overflow Vorpal for 10% extra damage. Well, now you can get 30% extra damage with Bait and Switch. So that strategy, if people do that on the Witness, is going to be absolutely shredding now. Bipod is also nice. Elemental Honing, again, if people figure out good ways to kind of max out this perk, it could be very, very strong. And then, yeah, you've got Envious Arsenal as well. So for swap rotations, Envious Arsenal is now just flat out better than Apex Predator with Reconstruction Bait and Switch, because Envious Arsenal, you basically like never have to stop shooting. You do have to rotate your weapons, but that's pretty par for the course for like meta damage strategies. I love Explosive Light for general play more, but that's another thing. If you could find a way to like make orbs during a damage phase and the heavy bricks, it would take a lot of setup and coordination, but it is a play that could be made. Then you wouldn't have to worry about swapping to your other weapons to reproc Bait and Switch every 10 seconds. So something to think about. Autoloading Holster has been nerfed, so it's not as good as it used to be. Cluster Bomb, Explosive Light, Incandescence, interesting, but I'm not really using a rocket for stuff like that. So the main go-to is probably going to be Envious Arsenal Bait and Switch, but like I said, there are some niche scenarios where Overflow could be your pick. And then obviously you want Impact Casing. And this is an aggressive frame, so it's the highest damaging archetype of rocket launchers. And finally, we have Found Verdict. I do have a God roll for PvP for Found Verdict, but it's been power crept, especially with like Lone Wolf and Closing Time, I think are kind of the new go-to perks. But the old school one was probably Threat Detector Opening Shot or Slide Shot Opening Shot. So you can craft it with enhanced traits. So those are still going to be nice in PvP, especially because you can kit it out exactly how you want. Handling Masterwork. I don't think Full Choke's what it used to be. I honestly prefer Corkscrew because you get handling and range. So I find it's like a good intermediate option where you're not maxing out your range with like Rifle Barrel. It kind of just gives the best of all worlds. So that's probably my God roll if I was doing a PvP one. As for PvE, Discord is really cool on shotguns. I made a shotgun build recently with the Discord Scavenger's Fate, and it's really, really good. 1-2 punch, Trench Barrel. We have all those perks now. Like you probably have stuff in your vault that already has that, but if you don't, that's good. Pugilist pairs really nicely with 1-2 punch, especially Enhanced Pugilist on specials. You get 20% back. Let's see, 22% actually when enhanced. So yeah, really good for melee builds. And then you could also do Rolling Storm. So Final Blows grant Bolt Charge, and then while amplified, Final Blows grant additional Bolt Charge. Bolt Charge also gives melee energy. So depending on your build, Pugilist Rolling Storm is about as good as you can get for refunding melee abilities. Volt Shot, I don't really like. You could get that Dead Gourmet or whatever it is. It was an arc shotgun that's a world drop. You could get that with Volt Shot, but I found it kind of gimmicky more than anything. You've got Elemental Honing, Desperate Measures, but yeah, nothing is really standing out with Found Verdict. Of all these weapons, I think they're all worth getting outside of Found Verdict, really. I feel like everything that it offers here can be found on other weapons that you may already have, or some are just like flat out better. Like Matador is an arc shotgun, and it's still probably going to be better in PvP than Threat Detector Opening Shot, even with enhanced, even fully craftable. But if you never did get the God Roll Matador, yeah, maybe it's something you want to go after. But anyways, that's it. Like and subscribe. I hope you found it informative. Let me know how you're liking the new season. Like I said, it was actually raining a little bit this afternoon, so I decided to come to the room and make this video. So yeah, hopefully the upload speed at the resort we're staying at on this Wi-Fi is good. I downloaded the update for the new season. I haven't played any of it yet, but I was getting 30 megabytes per second download speed. So the upload could be even worse. So maybe you're not even going to be seeing this the day I record it, depending if I can even upload it. But I'm really hoping I can, because I did want to get this info out to you guys. I know you like these God roll guides. And yeah, I was honestly thinking I wouldn't even bother with the Vault of Glass weapons and the red borders. But after seeing the rolls, there's honestly some that I would really, really like. So anyways, like I said, if you're still here, thanks for watching to the end, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace!